Hi, Delusion Dispeller back again to conclude, I hope, this video on healthy-minded people. What do they look like? What do they act like? Why would I recognize one? What do I have to look for? So, let's continue on. A healthy-minded person does not mind taking the back seat, being served last, having to wait for things, wait in line, be put behind somebody. Okay, somebody cuts you off in traffic. A healthy-minded person does not sit and cuts them off or cuts them out. They're a blankety-blank, like, how could they do this to me? Blah, 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 blah. That's not healthy-minded. I'm not saying that makes you a narcissist. I'm just saying that's not healthy-minded thinking. That person might be in a hurry to get to the hospital. They might have just passed out and they're laying on the gas and don't realize it. You don't know. Pray for that person if you're a praying person, or just think well of that person, because you don't know the circumstance. Don't always assume somebody's just being vindictive to cut you off or do mean things to you, because not everybody's like that. Okay, so a healthy-minded person doesn't mind being seated last. You're at a restaurant, there's a big line of people. Somebody cuts in front of you. You end up being last instead of first. You're starving, you're hungry, you want to eat. Don't get nasty and, well, they were here after me. Why should I get seated last? And why did they get to cut in line? That's not healthy-minded. That's not even mature. So no, don't be doing that. Okay, healthy-minded people are able to focus on other people and listen and respond to them. We talked about that on the last video. You talk, I listen. I talk, you listen. Let's take turns. Let's not cut each other off. Let's not interrupt. Narcissists always want to be heard. They're always cutting in, interrupting, telling you don't know what you're talking about. They know more. Listen to the experts, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, not healthy-minded. Okay, a healthy-minded person, if they're joking about you, they have already okayed it with you. They already have that rapport with you as your friend. That sometimes I joke, but I don't mean anything by it. I'm just playing. And if it offends you, they don't do it. But if you're okay with it, you already knew ahead of time that's what they're going to do, and they let you know. Yeah, I know, I just called you fat. I am so sorry. You know I'm just joking, right? I'm just playing around. It takes years to build up, that rapport with people sometimes, that you can trust them, that they're not being mean. They're just goofing around. Narcissists don't care whether you like it or not. They're going to make you a spectacle. They're going to make you feel bad, and they just don't care. Okay, healthy-minded people let other people make their own decisions and choices. You may feel you know what's best for somebody. Okay, even a child. I told a story a while back on a video about working in a restaurant. I used to own a restaurant. It was in the mall. It was like a little kiosk type thing. And this grandmother asked the child, the boy, what he wanted. I want French fries. Okay, you don't really need French fries. Grandma, I want French fries. He'll take a hamburger. And she continued talking to me, and she's like, just give him a hamburger. I'll just tell him that you're out of fries. She turns to him and says, they're out of fries. I'm getting you a hamburger. No, I want a French fries. I want French fries. You'll be fine. You don't want French fries. You want a hamburger. And she told him what he wanted. I wanted to jump over the counter, smack the lady silly, knock her down, and scream in her face and say, you don't tell a child what they want to eat, lady, and you don't lie to them and say we're out of fries. I was mad. I was very mad. I'm honest. The human side of me took over at that point. I wanted to really deck her one. Okay. Anyways, this wasn't healthy on my end, but don't do that to your kids or your grandkids. Don't tell them, oh, you don't want to do this, or you want that. That's not your place. Let them have their own minds. Unless it's something dangerous. I mean, you know what I mean, within reason. Let them pick the flavor of ice cream they want. Don't tell them, oh, you don't want that, or we don't have that when you do. Kids aren't going to trust you doing that kind of lying stuff to them. That's wrong. So let them make their own decisions and choices. And if they're adults, definitely back out and let them make their choices. I have children, grown children, and I have one that's 13, but I have older adult children too, in their 20s. And I let them make their own decisions. I don't approve of most of their decisions, but that's their life, and I untied the apron strings a long time ago. You have to let your children individuate from you, or they will not be healthy as adults. So, a healthy-minded person, especially a parent, lets children make mistakes. They let them make their choices and fall and pick themselves up, and they'll talk to them and give them suggestions. They don't sit there and say, well, you should have listened to me. I know what's best for you. No, that's not your place. I don't care. You need to be gentle and kind to children, young ones and old ones, so that you build that trust and they come to you when they're in need or they want something, and they don't cut you out of their life being the meddling mother that you were, or father. Okay. Sorry, I feel passionate about that, so you hear the passion rising up in my voice about it. Okay, I'm still looking here. A healthy-minded person will listen to your constructive criticism of them, and they will work on their issues that need to change. They won't sit there and say, well, that's you do that. Or, well, you do blah, blah, blah. I might do this, but you, that's not healthy. It's not balanced. Somebody says you have this problem. Oh, okay. You know what? I don't see that, but I'll look into it. You know, I'll check it out. Maybe I do need to change in that area. I'll definitely work on that. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. That's how you talk to somebody that criticizes you. If you're not guilty of it, you can say, you know, I'm sorry, I checked it out, I looked at my stuff, I just don't see it. Maybe you can point out a little bit more where you see this in me. If it's something I'm willing to change, I'll be happy to change it. If it's something that's just me and I want to own it and have it be part of me, then I appreciate your help, but I'm just going to stay the way I am. You know, it's okay. You can have that boundary. Boundaries are important and healthy. Okay. So, but the important thing is, if you criticize them, or critique them, I should say, or give constructive criticism, they need to look at it and respond that way, and they need to be making changes. Hello, if you're living with somebody that constantly says, yeah, I hear you, blah, 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 I'll change, and they don't, there comes a certain point of time when there has to be a consequence. I don't know if that means leaving them, or moving to a different room, or whatever. I don't know. It depends on your situation, but people need to follow through on what they say they're going to do, or you don't need to be around them. Okay. They need to accept responsibility if it is theirs. Let them own their stuff. You own your stuff. A narcissist puts their stuff onto you. They project the things they're guilty of. You'll find them accusing you of it, and you'll sit there and go, I don't do that, you do that. That's projection, and that's a real big narcissist trait. Next thing. They take interest in your hobbies, beliefs, interests, or politely decline as needed. A narcissist will not be interested in what you're doing unless they are in the idealization phase. If they're in the devaluing phase, they could care less if the house caved in on your head. They don't care what you're interested in, what you're doing, what you're trying to tell them. It doesn't matter. They brush you off. What they have to say and think is more important. God help you if you don't agree. Okay, healthy-minded people want to know what you're interested in. They want to find out more about that, not to use it against you, not to woo you with gifts and things like that, but just because they're genuinely interested in what you believe, what you're interested in, and if they are not interested in it, then they politely decline and say, wow, that's really interesting. It's not my thing, but it's yours, and that's cool. You go do it. Go for it. As long as it's something that's, you know, reasonably healthy. If it's something that's against your belief system, you can say, gee, that's kind of like not the way I choose to believe, but I'm cool with, you know, you believing what you want. Just know that this is against my belief system, and don't expect me to get into it with you because I just can't. So that's between you and God, you and your conscience, you and whatever. Because I'm a Christian, and there are things I'm definitely against that I'm going to tell people. Totally against that. Don't hate you as a person for it. Can't be part of it. Best to you, and that's it. Move on. Alright. Running out of time on this video. It's taking longer than I thought. Okay, well, we're going to just stop here and conclude with that part, and stay tuned for the next one. God bless.